Good evening, everybody. I wanted to break up some of the stuff that's been going on in the LCU. More likely due to the fact that the video I have planned for later today, Wednesday, even though I'm recording this at Tuesday. Oh yeah, I'm recording this on a Tuesday night. I just wanted to break up a lot of the stuff right now because currently there's some huge stuff going on there that obviously that video of mine for the locale lifestyle will be released later on. But let's cut my interest, and I've been kind of pushing it over. Right, I haven't really wasn't sure what I wanted to say. Plus, I wanted to give a day, right? So if you're not aware, Asmongold made a statement saying is woke officially dead. Let's watch the video, right? Let's just watch it.
Microsoft? No change. Xbox? No change. Disney? No change. Target? No change. Starbucks? Even Starbucks roached out on the gays? Of all the people to roach out on the gays, you're gonna expect Starbucks to do it? Damn. Wow. Okay, let's see here. Bank of America? No change? Nothing? What about Blizzard? No change. What about World of Warcraft? Also no change. Google's homepage. Let me see. Google. Nothing. Actually nothing. Even the Google homepage. Wow. There it is. The image, kind of. Yeah, I don't know, guys. And hover over it. Well, let me see. Hover over it. It might actually be over this year. Holy shit. Or not really over, but like the mass corporate support for it might be over. There's no way Overwatch didn't make any posts about Pride. There's no shot. Like, if that's true, then it's really dead. Well, guys, Trump outlawed Pride Month, I guess. It's done. It's over. I mean, they had a good run, right? I mean, it was a good, 4 or 5 years, something like that. And now being gay is illegal. There we go. Just wait for June 19th. Well, June 19th is a legitimate thing. June 19th was the Emancipation Proclamation and the slaves were freed. That's a big deal. That's a real holiday. Like, that's an actual real holiday. Like, that's not some bullshit people made up. That's actually what happened. No ch-
So as somebody who, well, let's first talk about it. Is wokeness dead? No, it's not. What's happening is what we're seeing is, I just realized that no more games. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to edit that out. Who cares? I don't even care anymore. Um, Let me be real. Do I think wokeness is dead? No. It's just like the anti-SAWs, right? The anti-SA, no, not anti-SAW. The SJWs, the social justice warrior. You know what I'm referring to. You know what I'm referring to when I bring up the SJWs, right? They were really big in the early 2010s, and you can find them mainly in places like Tumblr for a period of time. And then what happened to them? Well, they got a lot of pushback and a lot of people attacked them and a lot of people were warning about that. A lot of my personal beliefs, or a lot of my beliefs, at least from that period, stem from being anti-SJW, which is very funny because at the time, I consider myself at least at that time, at that time liberal, which is hilarious because um that position that I hold that period of time would be considered conservative now. So, but that's not here or there about politics, right? I mean, it is about politics, right? This video is mostly kind of focusing on that, but not too deeply than it needs to. Now, do I think Asmongold is technically right that woke is dead? No, and I think even he himself admit that what we're seeing for the most part is sort of not them really like kowtowing or anything like that for the meantime. Now, obviously, him saying that Trump made it illegal to be gay. Oh my god, I love Asmongold. There are days where I'm like, why don't I like? There are times I ask myself, like, do I really dislike Asmongold? And then he say things like this. I'm like, never mind. I'm kind of warming up to him just slowly, but that can easily crumble. That can easily crumble. Now, my whole thing is right. It's not dead. Wokeness is not dead. What we saw of wokeness is just evolving, right? Anytime we see movement like these, they just evolve, right? What happened to the SJWs? Well, they became bread tubers, or that particular form of left wing was really popular for a bit of time, and then wokeness became the replacement between that middle period, right, where bread tube, bread-ish like idea did birth wokeness from there, right? It's not dead, Asman. And Kirsa has said it a number of times. Just because a company is quote unquote, you know, not doing this stuff doesn't mean they're not going to do it for a chance they get. Again, wokeness is just going to evolve. It's going to change down the line. It's not going to be what we saw, right? If anything, right, let's be real. Wokeness now, I'll give you $5. I'll bet you $5 right now. What we saw with wokeness will probably be what people would consider conservative in 5 or 6 years, right? There's a bit of a joke, right? And if people know where this is from, then you know what I'm talking about. But there's a joke, right, where I would say that we said around like the mid 2010s, right, at the turning of the century, right, a little bit after Trump got elected. There was a joke going around that it's true that conservatism is liberalism from 10 years ago, and that does hold very much true. Now, obviously, I'm not a liberal, and I'm not very left wing. And if you know me at this point, I made my some of my things very clear. But nevertheless, enough of dog whistling. My point is that it's not that Asman. Just because a couple companies they're not putting up the rainbow flag, just because they're not doing it this year, doesn't mean they're not going to do it, right? All they're doing is just a pushback, but I'll guarantee you, given the first chance, they will do something like that. They're willing to put the rainbow flag back up again if given the chance. And that's really how I see all of this. It's like, from my experience from 10 years ago with the whole SJW stuff, it's not gonna die. It's not officially dead. Just because they're not doing the rainbow stuff this year doesn't mean it won't be back. It just won't be back. I mean, not that it won't be back. It will come back in a different form. And Kears has said this a number of times about how, well, they removed DEI hire and the bridge stuff, but doesn't mean that just because they removed it doesn't mean it still isn't there. It's just they're not overtly talking about it. They're not overtly supporting it, but probably behind the scenes it's a different question. So, no, it's not dead. It's just going to evolve. It's going to change. It's going to be something different. And I think that's something that is very important to talk about. And maybe some people think that I'm a bit, crazy or cuckoo for saying that, but it is the truth. It is the truth, right? If you ever been around that period of time where the SJWs were like very prominent, and then they evolved to kind of into the bread tube-ish people, both in real life and on the internet, and then that development birth woke. Well, no, I mean wokeness is a direct evolvement from the SAW, but the bread to kind of push the philosophy more and more deeper, right? And people like ContraPoint or Philosopher 2, right? Those people are, bread to Zanoa. Even Crowd and T, right? But I don't know. I don't know what you guys think. I don't think it's dead. It's going to evolve, and it's just going to be another long, drawn out battle. Till then, y'all, have a good one. Be safe, and as always, God bless.